Well, we are now very happy to welcome to the program David Wilkins. He served as the U.S. Ambassador to Canada from 2005 to 2009 under George W. Bush. Ambassador Wilkins, thank you for the time.
Thank you, Michael. It's good to be with you and good to see that beautiful Canadian flag flying before we got on there.
Well, as I said to you off air, we love the red and the white. Listen, I want to begin with your impressions of this campaign. Are you surprised that the race remains as close as it is?
Well, it's been that way for the last month, and so no, I'm not surprised. It's certainly going in. It's the tightest one I've seen in my lifetime. To have an NBC poll yesterday on Sunday saying it was 49-49 popular vote, a virtual tie that way. The last two races that Donald Trump has won, he's been behind in the popular vote considerably and lost them both times. So. This is going to come down to a handful of states, maybe as few as 50,000 votes separating the winners in those states, and it's going to be close. You're looking at probably 7 states that are going to decide this thing either tonight or tomorrow or the next few days.
Yeah, well, we are ready for a long night if need be. But, as Canadians, we do watch U.S. politics very closely, and I think it's fair to say that many are wondering how the vote tonight might affect cross-border trade. Because, Mr. Trump has been talking about tariffs. Kamala Harris, as senator, she did not vote in favor of CUSMA. Should Canadians be concerned right now about trade post this campaign?
Well, as you know, we have the greatest trade relationship the world's ever known. So we all should be concerned about trade. We're your biggest customer. We'll continue to be. But sure, the U.S. has become more protectionist over the last few years. Used to be Democratic Party was more for tariffs, more protectionist, more protecting the labor unions and that sort of thing. But the Republican Party has, in the last few years, have joined them at the table as being protectionist. So you've got, regardless who wins, you've got that issue that you've got to deal with. Are there going to be more tariffs? Is it going to be more protectionist measures, more Buy in America clauses inserted in appropriation bills? I mean, that's something Canada always has to be aware of and concerned about.
Mm-hmm. And another matter that, of course, our two countries work closely on together is security. And Canada has set a target year to meet the 2% NATO commitment. I'm wondering, given that Donald Trump, for example, in the first time he was president, talked very much about NATO and other countries stepping up, will Canada have to revisit that target date of 2%, whoever wins this presidential vote?
Well, I think it's good strategy if Canada does meet that commitment, the commitment of 2%. The GDP. I think the commitment, the expenditure level right now by Canada is about 1.3 or 1.4. They need to meet it or exceed it and do their part. And it's good strategy in that. In my experience, when I've worked for George W. Bush, the more Canada was involved on the international level as a partner with the U.S., the more effective Canada could be in getting things done on a bilateral basis. You saw that by the great effort Canadians made in Afghanistan and the reciprocal effort of George W. Bush wanting to help Harper when he got elected. And 2 months later, we signed a softwood lumber agreement that stayed in place for 9 years.
So to step up would help right across the board, you would think, and step up quicker than the timeline set out right now?
Well, I think the more you can do, the better. And I think either party, either president is going to demand Canada do its part. I think Trump's been much more vocal about it in the past. And so I think, again, it's strategic that Canada does that on an international scale and can be more effective on bilateral issues.
Mm-hmm. In terms of personal relationship, though, for example, Justin Trudeau, Donald Trump, they had a bit of an up and down relationship the last time Trump was in presidency. Kamala Harris has not spent a lot of time with Justin Trudeau. What should Canadian officials be prepared for, whoever should win this vote?
Well, you just got to work on those relationships. 2 points. One is the U.S.-Canada relationship is bigger than just the president and the prime minister. It's all the elected officials, the provincial officials, the state officials, the businesses that go across the border every day. So it's gonna prevail, and it's gonna be strong. But I do think a strong relationship among the two top leaders make a difference. You've seen that. You saw that with Reagan, Mulroney. You saw that with Chrétien and Clinton. You certainly saw that with George W. Bush and Harper. So I understand Canada most likely will have an election in next year, and so you may or may not have a new leader. But whoever that leader is, it would be to all our benefit if the two leaders could work well together.
Ambassador Wilkins, really appreciate you taking the time this evening to speak with us. Thank you for this.
Thank you, Michael. Good talking to you.
And you.